Now, jump over to next stanza, page number 96. The poem Keeping Quiet, class 12, page number 95. And now we shall take 96, part 2 of this particular poem, Keeping Quiet, written by Pablo Neruda. Right? So let's begin with this. Those who prepare green wars. First of all, let us concentrate on this word. Who are those? Those are the statesmen. Who are the statesmen? Leaders of the world, leaders of various governments. Now we are thinking on a broad level. This earlier we had taken a very individual approach. Now we are taking it to broader one. Those people, those here stand for the statesmen, the politicians, the bureaucrats, high class people who prepare green war. Now what is this green war? Green war here stand for the war against nature. Every day we have been destroying nature with all our for our needs. I would say for our needs, but for the luxuries, for meeting our vested interested, we are destroying the nature. We are destroying nature, cutting trees, cutting forests, and destroying all flora and fauna from the earth. This is what we have been doing. The war against nature, the war against humanity, I would say, we have been playing every day. These people, we are human beings, but are we doing the work of human beings? No, we have been destroying the earth like anything. Like, not only we have destroyed the nature, but we have created what? Wars with gas and wars with fire. Wars with gas. Weapons of mass destruction we have created for ourselves. And these people, politicians, state politicians, they are threatening at every moment with these guns, with these arms and ammunition and bombs of all types. We have created. What we have created for? Just to threaten others? Just to kill others? A gun cannot give life to anyone. Only it can take the life away. But these politicians, they have done it. They have created wars. The history is witness to so many wars that has destroyed life from the earth even. Right? The poet says, that those people, these statesmen and politicians, they will get success. They will surely get victory. But victory with no survivors, my dear. With no survivors. Survivor is, suppose a world war takes place and powerful countries, they get victory. But do you think they would enjoy those victories? Never. Most of the people will be killed in the war. Then whom would they enjoy their victory over? Only few people will be left in this world. In this world to relish, to enjoy. The poet says, victory with no survivors means humanity will be almost finished. Humanity has been heading towards gloom, towards sadness. The planet would be turned into a dead planet. If we have any sort of inward reflection, if we think over what is the use of this victory when there would be none to rule over. But if they keep quiet, what would happen? Keep quiet. What would happen? If these politicians, they come to their senses and they realize their follies, what would happen? They would put on clean clothes. What do you mean by clean clothes? They would put on new clothes? No. Means that will change the attitude. Change the attitude. Attitude of whom? Attitude of these politicians. Means they would change their attitude, and they would reflect inward. They would have an inward reflection, thinking. Their mind would think something else, something new, some realization of what? Realization of peace, world peace. Okay, so they would put on clean clothes. Here stand for that they would realize their follies. These politicians would realize their follies, the mistakes, and they would come to their senses. They would put on clean clothes and walk about with their brothers. What do you mean by this? With their brothers? With their brothers here stand for that they would learn the lesson of world peace. Right? They would learn the lesson of world peace, and all their destructive activities would come to an end, and that would spread the idea of what? That would spread the idea of universal brotherhood. This is what the poet is for. What? Universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood. This is what the poet gives them. This is the message that the poet wants to give. Right? He wants the people, the bureaucrats, to put on new clothes, to adopt new approach towards life, and to realize that killing so many people is not a victory. Right? He wants us to be united. Right? So that's how we can prolong life on this planet. This is what the message that this poet gives. Now, what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. The poet here finds that the reader may be in a confusion that the poet is recommending total stagnation. No, he does not recommend a situation of total stagnation. He does not want that all the activities should come to an end permanently. He does not promote total inactivity. Total inactivity means a stage of complete stagnation. He promotes brotherhood, but he does not want us to stop our work completely. Right? He only wants us to analyze the result. New approach is okay, but total inactivity is not promoted. Life is what it is about. Arey, what is life? Life in itself means, what do you mean by life? Life means movement. Life means movement. Right? He says life will move. He only wants a what? A stoppage. A stoppage. A short stoppage. He says, I want no truck with death. Means life is an ongoing process and it would never come to an end. I want no truck means death. If death means he does not want any association with death when he says to stop action. Right? He does not want us to stop permanently. Now, come to the last stanza. If we were not so single-minded, about keeping our life moving. What does the poet mean here? Poet here says that if we were not so single-minded, we have only one aim in life. Single-minded here stand for, what do you mean by single-minded? Single-minded means have one aim. All human beings are living with one aim. What is that? Progress, nothing else. We are single-minded. We have only one aim. All human beings have one aim. What is that? What is the single aim of all human beings now? That they want progress in life. What sort of progress they want? They want, you can say, monetary benefits, scientific advancements, and all other sorts of advancement that one requires. This is what he is doing. If we were not so single minded about keeping our lives moving, we are running day and night after advancements, progress, carry on. Nobody knows where we are to go, but we are running round the clock. From morning to evening, we have been running after money. We have been running after money. We have been running after scientific advancements, scientific progress, right? This is what life is for human beings. This is what man wants now. He is single minded, single aimed to attain more and more advancements. He always remain busy. He from morning to night he remains busy. What? अरे अटेनमेंट ऑफ मनी, सुबह होती है, शाम होती है, जिंदगी यूं ही तमाम होती है. बट what? Progress, money, always, right? So this has made the human life a machine. A machinetic approach has been adopted by human beings. Poet says, if we were not so single-minded about keeping our lives moving, I have told you, busy life, running after money and leisure and everything, and for once could do nothing. For a single moment, if man decides that he must stop all activities, the man running after money, or humdrum routines, boring routines, morning, keeping bag in the morning, leave their home, evening they are coming home, work and all type of work, but there is no happiness in their life. For once could do nothing, but at least these people should stop activities and do nothing for a while. Perhaps a huge silence might interrupt this sadness. There is sadness in our life. What sort of sadness does the poet talk about? Poet says, this sadness that has come into our life, that may go. This sadness is what? This sadness is just because of two reasons. And a silence can break this sadness. Silence means stoppage. Poet यही तो कह रहा है, रुक जा भाई, आगे देख, मिस्टेक हुई है, सोच, रियलाइज कर, and then move ahead. है ना? Perhaps a silence might interrupt means stop this sadness. This sadness is what? This sadness is of sacrifice of emotional needs. Sacrifice of never understanding ourselves. Never understanding ourselves. ये line बहुत important है. Never understanding ourselves. What does it mean? Never understanding ourselves means that we have sacrificed what? Our emotional satisfactions. Our emotional satisfactions, we have put them on stake. We never realize them. Next, our internal bonds, our bonds with our friends, bonds vanished. Emotions, know where they are. Emotions and our bonds with our friends, everything has been broken. This has caused the sadness in our life. We are running a race towards progress, a race to outshine others, a race to collect arms. This is my next point of what? First is of never understanding ourselves, and second, and of threatening ourselves with death. What we have been doing? We are causing threat. We are giving a threat to whom? We are giving threat to ourselves, destroying everything by creating weapons of huge destruction. This is what we are doing, causing harm to others. This earth has so many. This earth has arms and ammunition to such an extent that we can destroy this earth 13 times. My God, why we have created these arms and ammunitions for? We have created for ourselves only, no? To destroy ourselves. So that's why poet says this sadness is due to two reasons: of never understanding ourselves, and second, threatening ourselves with death. That meaning I have told you, this is destruction that we have caused for ourselves, right? This is destruction. Arms and ammunition we have created for ourselves. This is a disaster. This is disaster. Disaster of whom? Disaster of humanity. Disaster of human beings. Arms and ammunitions, ये हथियार बनाए हमने destroy करने के लिए. So these have created this sadness in ourselves, and this sadness can be avoided if we keep quiet and think over, right? एक silence तोड़ सकता है, एक break तोड़ सकता है इस sadness को. Next one. Next stanza, last stanza. Perhaps the earth can teach us, as when everything seems dead, later proves to be alive. The earth undergoes changes in winter. Everything freezes, then become lifeless. But after some time, when spring season comes, again it turns into life. The frozen water starts running in streams. The life again comes to its own. Similarly, taking a pause and introspecting into our lives. Socho, kya hua? Taking a momentary pause and introspecting our lives will give it a new meaning. We'll be able to understand the purpose of our life, right? Or when we shall rethink and we shall again work upon it, that will give us a new life. That is the rebirth as earth. Earth when came into being, earth can teach us. Poet says perhaps earth can teach us when everything seems dead. When earth came into being, there was nothing. It was just like a big ball of fire. This is the creation of earth, right? Earth was created. Nothing was there. Only fire, and fire was always there. It was a fireball basically. Nothing was there, but later proves to be life. And when a new cell came to earth, it made this earth so beautiful to live that we all have been living and enjoying it in this manner. All flora and fauna came to this earth, and this earth again sprouted into a place to live. Later proves to be life. So life is eternal. As Lord Krishna said in Gita, this human life is nothing. When the soul leaves this body, it takes a new birth elsewhere. Same is the case here. You just take a pause, think, realize your mistakes, and your thoughts will take a new birth, and that would be a complete redemption. That is what the earth we want for world peace. So the poet here wants to give the message that world peace is the ultimate thing. Okay, so last line. Now I'll count up to 12, and you keep quiet and I'll go. Poet here says, now it's your turn to enjoy. Saying this, he says, I'll go. He says that I have conveyed the message to the people, and now it's your turn to follow this, and this is the only way to the path of peace, and this is what humanity will survive on, right? So with that, we come to the end of this beautiful poem, and my dear students, you must have enjoyed it. So and the last, these question answers, they have been given, question 4 answers they have been given here in the last, and that is what we are to. This is the assignment for you to do, right? This assignment you are to do in your notebooks. First, what will counting up to 12 and keeping still help us achieve? It will give us, it gives us analysis of our deeds, of our work, and it allows us some moments to think about the result of our activities, right? This is taking all of us towards our own end, the activities of human beings, and so we need to think over to prolong our life on this earth. Right? Second, do you think the poet advocates inactivity and death? No, he doesn't. Right? He clarifies in this poem that he only wants a momentary pause in our life to realize or to analyze our activities and their consequences. He wants human beings not to support war and damage the environment. What is the sadness that the poet refers to? Two reasons, right? I told you two main reasons: lack of satisfaction of emotional needs, yes, and second, the danger of creating wars, these weapons of mass destruction that have been created for the death of humanity even. Fourth, what symbol from nature does the poet invoke? In the last, earth is the ultimate thing. Earth is the ultimate thing, ultimate symbol that the poet here says. What is that? There can be life under apparent stillness, change in the season from winter to spring. Okay, right? The trees shed their leaves, but later they take new leaves. It brings everything in the world changes from destruction to incarnation, to a new life, right? So the poet wants to convey the message that we should always stay calm, but that does not mean that it will bring total inactivity and stillness. So dear children, this marks the end of this poem. Thank you very much.